All right, what's up, demigods? Marcus Alchemist here. We're going to be checking it out, doing some trade reviews this evening, fielding questions, seeing how we can help anybody out. Just try to get everything set up here for y'all. All right, let's get into it. Kind of start by going over reviewing the stock ticker SPY S&P 500. Again, that's what we're going to be trading pretty much exclusively on the channel. Pretty much the only thing I take a look at on the daily basis, unless there's some sort of major earnings play. A while back, we did some Netflix. We're going to review that today. Just kind of gives you a good view right here of the chart, so you can kind of see what we're working with. Um, we did a quick trade this morning. Definitely should have stayed in it quite a bit longer. But again, we got some goals in mind, and at the end of the day, we're going to take profit and make sure we hit our monetary targets that we have for ourselves. So, but kind of starting off, took a look at a little review this morning before the market opened so that we can kind of see what was going on, what was the play for the day. You can see down here overnight, they were right about here. Close, dropped through this Fibonacci retracement level down here, and obviously just kind of built itself back up. Market opens at about 8:30, so you kind of see that right about there. So as you can see, it took a little bit of a dip right there. Like I said, we did enter the trade right here. Again, we spoke about it a little bit earlier today. Definitely was not my best entry when it comes to timing. It's always very important because, again, we kind of sold off right about here. We could have capitalized on the decreased options contract price from between here and on up. As you can see, it did take a nice steep dive and then right back here, kind of broke VWAP, retraced back all the way back down. Again, people will tell you there's a million different ways you can make money in this market by this indicator, that indicator. Everyone's got their favorites. Mine in particular, VWAP and the Fibonacci retracement lines. More so because, again, these are tried and true for me as far as proven buy and sell points. You see, came down here, clear bounce. We'd probably have waited, right about in this little area right here to see about purchasing back in for a confirmation. Probably would have bought in, and this range right here. Then, clearly this right here probably would have been sold pretty quickly, given that's a good, 10-15% move. But again, if we pretty much held throughout the day, we would have got chopped up a little bit. But, if we zoom out right here, go to the 30-minute. There we go. You can see, again, nice big move upwards, basically from the 38.2% line up through the 61.8. Um, so typically right about there is when we're going to be looking at taking some profit once we break this line right here. Um, Most likely what the plan will be for tomorrow, be something similar, but it's going to be a little bit higher up depending on how the market opens. Sorry about technical difficulties here. Zoom out on the 1 hour. We'll kind of look, see where we're at in the market. This little area right here, basically depending on the overnight move, will they look for a push, from somewhere down in this mid level right here on up to about this range 605.80. If we wake up and this thing is broken through here, we may give it about 15, 20 minutes in the morning to make sure it doesn't retest and drop like it did today. If it does, possible retracement back in this area. We'll definitely enter a bounce right about here if we're back up. Or just based off of bullish market sentiment right now, things are looking, pretty good for the run back up here. Again, there's some pretty heavy resistance in this area. You can see here, here. So if we do get back up there, I'm definitely gonna have to see how things play out. Let me know if you have any questions. Shoot me some comments in the chat. If there's some stocks you're interested in, and take a look at them. Interested in some dividends, shoot that in the chat as well. Definitely here to help you guys out. Again, I want to make sure this is for entertainment purposes only. It's not financial advice. So don't go gambling away your money and blame it on me. Awesome. I zoomed out here. As you can see, go back in here, a little bit better screen. If we look at this on the 1 hour, on the daily, oh, keeps going back. Give me that. I mean, kind of see here, good swings and volatility. Definitely recommend if you are interested in options, look at paper trading. This is a wonderful platform to look at that. I would definitely recommend, getting this platform here. You can go down here, this paper trade icon right here. Uh, and then, like I said, we'll go over that a little bit more. We're going to be trading all day tomorrow. We're going to make our regular trade with our real money in our account. And then what we're going to do is pretty much paper trade the market for us of the day, just so we can kind of get some uh, good trades in, some good examples, try out some strategies in the live market, just so that we can kind of get a good idea of how things work and some good examples for everyone to take a look at of kind of how I base my entries and exits. Again, I do take profit 10, 15% typically with the amount I do trade with. That is enough to meet my daily goal as far as earnings. And again, we're making this a lifestyle. So we're going to make sure that we kind of focus on taking profits for the first few months in this so that we can be successful and build upon the success we've had so far. Alrighty, what we'll do here is we're going to go ahead and hop over into the channel so we can go ahead and review some of our trade videos. I do try to make sure I post daily my live trades so that the proof is in the pudding, so to speak, right? Uh, I'll get that fixed right there. Let's swap this text back over so the color's not so crazy. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and we're going to start kind of where it all began. The first one we uploaded here, like I said again, we typically are going to be trading the S&P 500, the stock ticker SPY, for the majority of the time. Right here, one of the first ones we did, we took a kind of SPY, or I mean, sorry, Netflix earnings play. Essentially, they took a nice jump up to about 1,000 uh, for earnings, and then following, they took a nice deep dive down to about the 950 range. This is one of the first trades I did for the day after, or the first day, kind of capitalize on the forward momentum and a little bit longer of a trade. Again, only problem with these faster moving options plays is you get what's called IV crush. So your options contract price point tends to fluctuate quite a bit. There could be a big change in what the cost is versus your price point you bought in at. So again, entry a little too soon right here. Unfortunately, I'm making a habit of that recently, so you got to kind of take a step back and slow my roll because again, I want to try to be as profitable as possible. But again, all indicators at this point, based off of what I was looking at, pointed north. So we were kind of comfortable in sitting, kind of waiting it out. So the big thing again, like I said, I typically use this volume weighted average indicator right here, the VWAP. Again, it's showing 964.90. As this kind of climbs, it's a good signal that this is going up, that this is going to push this back up. So we kind of just have to wait it out and take a look at it here shortly. Just kind of let the trade unfold. You can see here, we kind of frequently take a look at the profit margin. I don't like to set sell limits too quick, more so because I want to make sure and see how it plays out. I do like trading the momentum for the most part. Um, I kind of look for volume spikes. I look for things right around the either resistance or support levels. I'm more interested in the bounces off support or the bounces coming down from resistance to capitalize on quickly and again get in and out. I try not to be in any of these option plays for more than 5 or 10 minutes. Um, and if you made it this far, appreciate you guys. Do want to say when we do hit 100 subscribers, we're at 84 right now. We are going to do a YouTube short video giveaway for $100. I'll give you the best stock to put it in if you want it to grow, or if you want to take the money and run, put it in the account. Do that also. But when that time comes, I'll be releasing the video, make some announcements. It's going to be a kind of a randomizer of who gets it. So I don't just pick somebody at random. It's going to be computerized, randomized, just to make it fair. But I do look forward to help spreading the wealth, and do appreciate everyone that's kind of supported so far. It does mean a lot to me. Uh, again, like I said, we're trying to make this a lifestyle. You're gonna notice I did click up to be, sell that contract around 6. That was more so just to see if we got some wild push. Um, just like I said, taking a look at it just to see monetarily wise where it goes. But as you can see here, we're starting to get that momentum upwards. Again, we're in that 12%, 14, 15 range. I'm always going to look at this point to kind of start closing it out. Um, you know, a lot of people get trapped in the game of shoulda, coulda, woulda, or oh no, that gambler's fallacy is it's never going to stop going up. But these things can take a turn very quickly, like you saw this morning, and that's when we were going over SPY a little bit ago. It quickly broke that retracement line and then took a nice $2 dive. Had that not recovered, that position is pretty much wiped out for a lot of people. And so I kind of felt like I was cheating on my baby SPY over here, so we had to go take a look at it real quick to see what they had going on. Obviously, came back. Things pretty much up in the region we're looking at. We're up 20% or so. Um, like I said, at this point, we've gotten that big volume spike in the price point swing, so we're gonna go ahead and just click to close it. It immediately fills. We always do limit orders so that it fills right on the spot. Um, and like I said, that was the first trade of starting out on this little adventure that I posted, which is pretty neat. I always look back at this as the one that kind of got us going. Uh, let's take a look at. I did do a you know put options play on Netflix as well. Um, I only was able to do a little YouTube short on that one, but we're going to do the next one. I'll be from the day after. It's about a 10-minute trade. Essentially, this is back on the S&P 500, so we're back with what we know best. Again, it's, again, 5 to 10 minutes. That's typically going to be what I'm looking at as far as time frames to getting out of trades. Obviously, start this one right here. Again, this is going to look real familiar. It's 8:30 in the morning, right at market open. Again, we are trading the trend. We're trading the momentum. Um, so that we can get that quick price movement. You see that big green volume candle right there. Kind of pretty much signifying a good push up. Um, like I said, I think we had an opportunity on this one to close out pretty quickly, but it kind of hold out on the trade just because I felt like it could go up quite a bit more. Um, we almost got clapped a little bit, so we had to be careful. Again, I don't typically like to enter the market, 5, 10 minutes, in, give it about 15, 20 minutes to kind of let it settle. People taking profit from the night before, people buying quickly in the morning. All the buys kick in pretty quickly about 4 a.m. So um, there's just a lot of price volatility those first few minutes. Um, you could get fooled into going the wrong direction for not having confirmations. But you can kind of see here, we're starting to get that little breakout we're looking for. Gonna fast forward this up real quick. You can see it kind of starts breaking down, forming a little W pattern right here. Obviously, you see the volume VWAP is kind of curling a little bit. But like I said, we'll get that nice push upward. This is what you can call a little bullish pendant. If we go, I typically have the 24-hour time frame up um, on my phone. I do like using the app quite a bit. Uh, it's just quick, it's user friendly, it's easy to navigate. Pretty proficient at this point, so it makes it easy to kind of open and close trades out. Yeah, you can see here, you got the big volume spike right there. hitting that 10% range, but just kind of based off market sentiment these last 2 weeks. We've had big swings in volatility. So you can see even though we're up from our initial buy portion, when you get those steep declines, they do wreak havoc on your contract price. Um, these contracts are based off of uh, larger moves, cause a bigger swing in the contract price, quicker moves. So if you have a rapid increase, rapid decrease, that gives you the best opportunity to make some profit just because of the quick scalping strategies. As you can see here, obviously came back down and we had an opportunity to close it up here. So I mentioned, typically we're kind of at the 5 minute mark. Typically I would have closed that out. But again, I was willing to stick this one out. Risk management is always important. Um, so I was wanting to stick this one out so we can see if we have some better gains. You can kind of see here that trend lines established going up. We got two lower lows, so low here. Or I'm sorry, higher lows. I apologize. We're in 611 calls, so I always try to buy things pretty close to the money, meaning a dollar above, dollar below, depending on the direction we're anticipating. Any further out, you really risk your capital, going down pretty quickly. You can have a little bit higher reward, obviously, because you're buying at a lower options contract price for the higher dollar amounts above. But again, you're risking quite a bit more. Any swing in the other direction can really create a bad day for you. But again, in that 10% range right here, um, pretty much what I see here is it's just going to kind of continue to push. About 10 minutes into the market. Again, this is where we, say about 10, 15 minutes in, take a look. Clearly, it's got an established direction and it's just kind of grinding its way up. Uh, it's a pretty good signal to buy some call options there. Um, but we're taking a look. Obviously, we're going to set ourselves up for what we think it's going to do. The nice thing is with this view right here, not only do I get the chart, so I can kind of keep an eye on the price point, but I can also see here where the options contract is at. Obviously, there I set it for 71, which I think, if I'm not mistaken, should be about a 15% gain. You see here, this is just about to pretty much rip upwards. I got that, 12.5%. Again, I'm trading with about $1,000. I think we did this with our small account challenge right when we started. Um, take a look at a couple of the other videos. That thousand turned into about 11.5. Is where we ended it at. We're back starting over now. Pretty much to around 3,000 is what I typically trade daily with. Because again, uh, you gotta have your plan, gotta have your goals, and that's what I'm working with right now. All right, like I said, we should get that big push here coming towards the end of the video. We kind of see here, checking the profits. 68, set it for 71. Uh, Pretty much watch this just rip through the 71 options contract price, and then it sells off on its own. So that's why you kind of want to have that set up and ready. Notice I canceled it right there because I'm anticipating this to just basically, um, And as you can see, pretty much hit that price target, but we're kind of getting, submit it right back. I was anticipating going up, but at the end of the day, like I said, sometimes you got to make a decision. You can see when I close it out, it's still a little bit higher, but uh, you can see here that it kind of rips up forward like we were planning. But, again, you always want to take your profit when you see it, especially if, you don't feel comfortable. You want to make sure that you have that trade secured. Let's take a look at uh, I'll do this one right here. This was something obviously. FOMAC is going to be your Federal Reserve meetings. Um, typically it's always going to happen once a month. Uh, be large volatility typically on these days. Pretty stagnant up until the meetings. Most of the time, the meetings are pretty anticipated. Um, all the items and things like that are going to be kind of pre-released or already kind of prejudged out there. Um, there's typically no surprises with them flipping on great decisions and things like that. Um, this one, however, was pretty big. Um, Feds were planning to pause. There's calls for it to be, um, for them to cut rates, and they actually stuck to their guns and ended up not cutting and stayed with the pause. So it kind of gave the market a little bit of a volatility strike, which is always good. As you can see here, trading a little bit higher amounts. Again, we're expecting this nice decline. It came up. We were already kind of set up in the morning Fibonacci retracement lines, expecting a 601 push. Again, like we talked about earlier, it breaks out of that VWAP, comes down to retest. You wait for confirmation. If not, it breaks down. As you can see, I mean, this is again very familiar move, just like this morning, where it basically broke out, retested, failed, came way down. Like I said, dropped $2, all the way back down to the 598 retracement line. So like I said, you always got to be just a little bit patient. Don't jump the gun. Where a lot of people, they see this right here and they see the bounce and they immediately want to enter calls and obviously get clapped pretty quickly. And then there goes all their money straight down the chart. But like I said, a big thing too is you'll notice obviously when these steep drops, we got several red candles in a row. These are all sells. And obviously you see this green candle. Typically, we want to try to avoid catching this candle right here. Start losing about quite a bit of money when this rapidly goes up. But again, you can clearly see it's in a big downtrend. Trend from the day has already kind of been established, because this is pretty much before noon. Typically around noon, you get a nice lull in the market as well. Volume typically decreases, which when it's on a downtrend, low volume, for the most part, it's going to continue to drop. So we're kind of letting this bounce play out. Again, this right here is more of you can either take profit, which is nothing wrong with that, or again, risk management. What you are not willing to risk. If you're willing to risk your profit you've already locked right here, and you're confident this bounce is going to play out and come back down, then by all means, of course, trade your strategy. See here, we get a pretty rapid decrease right here. Uh, this is kind of what we're looking for right before we close out. So we got this nice leg down, basically looking for the bounce and then for this to come back and drop down. You see, take a look, we're about 23% again. this last week, I was definitely trading a little bit more out of my risk management strategy than I would. Um, I was looking more at uh, building a good base um, for leaving my full-time job and uh, doing this daily. So obviously, I was more pressed to go for higher gains, increase my risk management so that we can put up some bigger percentage gains, some bigger profit margins, which in the end it did pay off. But again, we got to get back to standard daily gains. I do want to stress the fact that 10% a day, no matter the amount you're trading with, as little or as much. Even if you're trading with $100 and you make $10, if you make in 10 trading days, which is equivalent to 2 weeks typically, you will double your account. And over time, if you're doubling your account every 2 weeks or twice a month, uh, um, again, you can do your own math. I mean, it adds up pretty quickly. And that 100 can go from 100 to a lot, quite a bit. So you can see here, let that play out. Quickly popped over here. I didn't really have anything set to sell because we were waiting to see how deep that was going to go. Uh, Again, we had a little, hesitation here. Put it for 230. And this just literally nosedived and immediately filled, which is great. Um, so we locked some higher gains there. But again, being confident in your trading strategy is always good because again, you can see it definitely will pay off. All right, we'll go over this last one right here, and we're going to call it a night. Again, this will be the one from today. Um, again, I like to be pretty open and honest on things. 'Cause a lot of stuff you'll watch on these platforms are, get rich quick, and I got the ultimate strategies. I'm not saying I'm the greatest. I don't know the most. Just want to share with you guys how I do things and what works best for me, and hopefully, in the end, it's helpful, and you guys can make some money as well. Again, I'll, like we talked about in the beginning of the video, uh, was I would say C minus for the entry on the trade, especially given this dropped about 6 or 7 cents on the option contract. Uh, you'll notice here in a second, I do rebuy a singular contract. Uh, just for the fact that it went down. Typically, I do about half of my position. That way, if we did take a little bit of a drop, I can average down, especially if I was anticipating a further move north. Right about there on that last little spike is where I typically would have sold it. Um, again, I close this out, you know, in retrospect early, but as far as the morning move, I definitely closed it out at the perfect timing because, as we went over earlier, this thing just went straight down to 598 pretty quickly. Yes, it did recover, but I am no Nostradamus, however you want to say it. Um, see, as you can see there, I was expecting a move to about 602. And SPY closed up above that area today. But again, never want to buy something with the intention of holding it all the way down to here in the hopes that it recovers back up. Uh, I don't play the shoulda, coulda, woulda game. Hey, I'm up the money. If there's anything you learn, take the money and run, baby. That's what you got to do. So as you can see here, we're kind of just, in that no man's land right here. Get a nice big cup and handle. Uh, we'll kind of go over that in another video. These are certain things we look at. Just as far as more advanced charting technical analysis. I'm not crazy big on getting overly, I don't know the best way to put this, overly obsessive on charting patterns and and things like that, because they can get and cloud your judgment a little bit. You kind of see one thing, well, maybe this, and then you know, just keep it as simple as possible. You see, kind of average. You got that one contract at 170 or at 79, which originally was in for 85. Again, those are multiples of 100, so they cost $85 a piece, $79 a piece. Even though it says what looks like 79 cents, 80 cents. Um, again, that's why these options contracts can be so profitable. Uh, again, buy something for $79. It goes up to 85 cents worth of contracts. You made a quick, easy buck with the moving of your fingers. But as you can see here, obviously, you know, I'm kind of keeping an eye on things. I do like to show my positions so you can see when I'm up, see when I'm down. Obviously, average price there at 84 cents or $84 a price contract. Um, as we go, this right here, looking obviously bounce off the view up there. And again, just based off of the market trends. This thing has been an engine moving forward. Uh, a lot of times, you'll hear people or see people say, "Don't fight the trend." Uh, this is one of those times in the market right now. Don't fight the trend. Um, take the emotion and the oh man, it's up too high, or oh man, at some point it's going to drop. Uh, it's no different than the opposite. It's going to continue to go up forever. Just trade what you can see, and set a goal for yourself as far as um, daily earnings, and do your best to reach that target each day. Uh, and again, always have a risk management strategy in place too, because you don't want to blow up your account on a position that ends up, being a loser, or a position that ends up, going the wrong way, because market will get the best of you. It's got the best of me plenty of times. You can see right here, again, it's a little tough because you can't see the move from the morning time, but it did pretty much recover about $2. So again, C minus for the entry point this morning. Definitely should have known better. This was going to come down a little bit, um, but again, pretty much all indicators are pointing north. Um, again, we get this nice move up. Again, the nice thing about SPY is why I like trading it so much is the simple fact that it is volatile, and that's what drives these options contracts. So you get this nice move upwards. Again, I got the 10% there. I set to sell at $100 a contract. I was pretty confident that this was going to get above the uh, next Fibonacci retracement level. At least break it. My goal was for it to break it and have my sell limit uh, ready to go. So when it does break it, it'll quickly sell off. I did not expect it to stay up there that long, especially early in the morning, given that it already had about a $2 move from the AM low. That way, you can see here, price ran up to about 60 or 690, 690 cents. I apologize. You see the mid price there creeping as close to $1.97. We already have it set to $1 for sell. We just watch it rip through that price point. And again, options contract sells off already because we already had to go, which is kind of pretty much perfect for what we're trying to accomplish. But again, I appreciate y'all coming out, taking a look. We are going to be live streaming all day tomorrow. We're going to hit it first thing in the morning when the market opens, and we will stay on for as long as humanly possible throughout the day. Um, just keep it up and live running from about market open at 8:30. We'll probably start a few minutes early, and we'll close it out. May not go all the way to 3, but we'll probably close it out uh, around 2 o'clock or so. Uh, but again, appreciate y'all coming out. Y'all take it easy, and hope y'all have a wonderful evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you're watching. And then we'll see y'all tomorrow in the next one. Bye bye.